Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to the Three Spurs Boys, and of course, our fun show here, Kauff and the Kang, with myself, Bobby K, and of course, the sexy Scandinavian over there, Kuva99, with his new look over there. I don't know if it's a confused look or if that's supposed to, he's going for that sexy kind of mysterious kind of thing. I'm going to play it off as a sexy, mysterious kind of thing because that's just the way Kuva is. Right now, we're having some technical difficulties, obviously, hence the reason for the slow start to the show. So whilst Kuva gets himself sorted out over there, Kuvs, you just add yourself when you're ready, buddy. All right. Okay, so I'll just quickly jump in and we'll get started here with the two that we do already have in the back. And one, of course, being the legend himself that's always here to help the channel out and join us and have a little fun and a laugh with us already. The Kauff is in the house. Good evening, Benny. How are you, buddy?
Doing all right. It's been a long week. Done loads of stuff. It's been a testing week, but we're back. We're here for the high point of the streaming YouTube thingamajig week, and now we're here for the chill weekend and the great times and the fun people in the chat.
That's it, baby. Time to wind down and get pumped up for tomorrow's game. So this is do we call this a pregame wind down instead of a pregame pump up? It's kind of like a more like, like that, isn't it? Yeah. So grab a drink, grab a doobie, grab whatever you got on near you to help you have a good time, and I'll bring in the Queen next herself. Queen Elly Hoiberg is in the house, still slowly getting better. Elly, how are you today? You have to unmute Elly to answer the question.
Queen Elly Bentoncourt.
Oh, it's Queen Elly Bentoncourt now. Oh, wow. Wow. That's how you start. Yeah, flip flop. That's how you start drama in the YouTube community. Why would you pick our show to drama? This is not Maury Povich here.
She was telling me last year that Bentoncourt wasn't as good as Hoiberg, and now she's dumped him for my guy, who I've been backing since he came in. Flip flop.
Well, you know what? We can bring a little bit of consistency to this. Oh, that's convenient. That's convenient. That's convenient. Well played, Elly. Well played. Very well played.
Anyway, moving on. Bentoncourt, he's playing rubbish since I've changed my name.
Do you hear the crap she's spitting out right now, Kauff?
Yeah, crap.
Did you hear what she's spitting out right now?
No, I missed it.
All you have to do is look at her name.
Bentoncourt's playing rubbish and Hoiberg playing good. So I've got a couple of picture to distract to Hoiberg.
She's basically flip-flopped. Left her second husband and moved on. So God forbid something like this happen to Theos. Theos, we all pray for you. Hashtag save Jim, and now it's hashtag save Theos as well. We got one more guest already in the background. The legend himself has decided to come and spend a little bit of time with us. The only thing I don't like about having this guy on the show is he just makes everybody else look a little bit uglier with his beauty. Woo! Legend in the house. Big up, Phil. How are you, man?
I'm literally, I can't believe how lucky I am to be on the show with such luminaries as yourself, Bobby, and the rest of the gang. It's brilliant. Happy Friday, one and all.
What's a luminary?
I don't care. He's beautiful. He's got that sexy tone in the voice, and he's just uses fancy words. This guy knows how to get a man's knickers off. I tell you, man. Speaking of flip flops, I might have to switch my name to Bobby P soon, man. Hello, darling. Oh, sorry, Kauff. I didn't mean like that. No. Sorry, no, we're still good, buddy.
Can we get everyone's best woo?
Sorry.
Yeah, stop flippy flopping.
Woo!
Kauff, I love the fact you're back to the standard operating woo.
Yes. Yeah. We'll save up for things. I've got silverware woo lined up, but that'll be a while.
But Phil, you know what? That is actually a committed woo. if you've seen some of the past ones, especially over the last few seasons when we were just suffering and disappointment. But before we get into what we're going to talk about, let's just quickly wave through the chat here and say hello to a few people. Chang is already in the house. Very good Saturday morning, everybody. That's right. He's on tomorrow already, so he'll be enjoying the game tomorrow evening. Good evening or good morning to you, Chang. Have a wonderful day, buddy. Hope everything is good, man. Saturday morning to everybody on the panel and chat before kickoff in 26 hours. Hope everybody has enjoyable post-midweek victory vibes. And here's more of the same today. Excellent, Chang. Love it. Fantastic. Football Ferreira. Jose's in the house. Big up, brother. Good to see you, man. And like the man said, hit the like button. It'd be appreciated. Adrian Soroka, the man in the robe, is here in the house. Good evening. Adrian, I think, missed it when I had my robe on the other day and I was calling myself the chocolate Soroka. So that was my tribute to Adrian there. And Dave Shear is already in the house as well. And he's already dropped his Cobra is in the house. Definitely. He's dropped his 1 month membership already. Andrew Gregory is here. So good evening to you, sir. Hopefully you are well. And I'll leave this one to you. I'll leave this one to the guy on the far corner to say hello.
I'm just giving a hi.
Wow, it just hurt. Is that how you do it properly? Because mine always look like crap.
I'm doing it as well.
Yeah, if you curve your hand in a little bit. Oh, okay, that's all it is, right? So David just saying hello to everybody. Stuart, of course, is in the house as well. Stuart, good evening to you. Hope you're well. Drew La La, happy birthday to your daughter. Hopefully it was a very nice celebration. We know you were with your family. Was it yesterday, I believe, right? So very nice. That's it. Talking Beer, Nick. Good to see you, man. He wants to know how you feeling, Coobs. How you feeling now, big guy?
Not brilliant, but a lot better than I have been. So all's good, I think.
Is it bad for me to say you'll probably feel worse in about 90 minutes? By the time we wrap this up, you're going to wonder why you spent 90 minutes doing this when you could have been doing something else. Yeah. Lisa O's in the house. Good evening. Hola to you. Yes, Kuva is back. So after a lot of work, a lot of moving, Kuva decided to go and catch a flu and be sick and sound like he was dying when I talked to him on the phone. So it's definitely nice to have our Kuva back. Leave him, buddy. Let him wander. The kids are trying to hand me the cat. Everybody's just saying hello to each other. So big up to everybody. Five Guys is in the house. Five Guys. And you know who you are. Big up. Cy Dancer is in the house as well. Good evening, Cy. Hope you're well. Tom81 is still staying up for us. Buddy, I know you had a rough day the other day. Hopefully things are a lot better for you, Tom. So much love to you. Right? Everybody, hello. Can we get a Kuva in the chat? Hell yeah. Gotta get a Kuva. Here they come. Here they come. We're getting woos and Kuvas here. So our darling Kate is in here.
Go on, Kate.
Don't worry, Kate. You know, Kate and Jim were lined up, but we got these heavy hitters to come in and step in for
upgrade.
Substitutes.
Upgrade. Is it Phil? Is it an upgrade because both arms work, or is that a dig at Jim? Or
if the hat fits, wear it.
There you go.
Wow.
Hopefully you're feeling
just
better.
Look at it as Phil being a B-Tech Jim as well, really, couldn't you?
Exactly.
So if you look at her comment, I think she called me Porky, but she's trying to say she meant poorly. Can't even type. Lots of woos coming in. That's it. Phil P
this is a disgrace, by the way.
Who is that? I don't even know who that is. Is that a compliment or a dig?
In my book, it's a dig.
Who is it though?
Is
he an actor or something?
He was a mechanic that turned to an opera singer.
Paul.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, is he one of those guys that was like on America's Got Talent or something, or Britain's Got Talent or something?
No.
Oh, that's just his story in general.
A mechanic that turned into an opera singer.
Yeah.
Did he tighten his knots too much?
Big up, Patty. Big up. Good to see you, buddy. That's actually, you like to hear those stories. I like hearing those blue collar people end up becoming something. So much love to you, Kate. Member for 2 months. Thank you very much for that. Spurs GCTV is in here. Good evening to you, mate. Hit that like button. That's it. Give it a smash, like you said. The homie is in the house as well. Big up, Leo. Hope you're feeling better as well. Everybody's been on a bit of a downturn the last week or so, right? So everybody's just saying hi to each other, and we are officially caught up, which means we can actually start the show, and we will start right here. Ladies first, of course. Transfer window is shut. Clearly my spell check is not working, and I didn't check the spelling on a lot of these banners, so hopefully the rest of them won't be right. So with the transfer window shut, are you happy with how our window went, Elly, or are you
Yeah.
disappointed with the lack of activity after the early activity?
It's a bit meh because we got our centre back, but we didn't really add anything more. Werner's alone, so he's done well so far, I must admit. But we should have really strengthened the bench. We should have strengthened the bench for Ange, at least with another 2 or 3 at least. Yeah, but it didn't happen, so I'm giving it a 5, and that's being generous.
Fair enough. Mr. Phil P, sir, how do you feel about the transfer window? And Ellie's kind of covered who we brought in. Do you feel that the outgoings or at least make the window a little bit more positive in terms of shedding some dead weight and some wages off our books?
I mean, look, exactly as Elly said, it started off so well, and I think the whole shock of will he, won't he with Dragoshin, and then actually getting in there and making the signing when it looked to all and sundry that Bayern were going to nick one off our toes, Lineker style. Shout out to Gary Lineker. And you just thought to yourself, like, what's going on? Is this Spurs? And then look, always good to get a bit of outgoings, because that's been something that we've been sorely lacking over the years, getting players moved on. And to the spreadsheet merchants amongst us and in leadership, I'm sure getting a few shekels off the wage bill will help in the long term. But look, we can't go by, and I'm sure Ange said this when he first came in. Yeah, but look, in the end, though, Ben, I think any sort of movement that we can do is needed, and that's the thing. You can't miss an opportunity to do something to the squad. But I just think with having moved so early and done so much so quickly in the window, in inverted commas, to then not do much else, you just think I'll think in years to come, no matter what happens towards the end of the season, unless we do something very, very, stupendous, it might be another one of those sliding doors moments, like with Redknapp, etc., where we just think, if only. But look, I'm pretty pleased. I'm not down on Werner. I think he's a sort of signing that you see, well, you had an opportunity, you get it. And look, that's how football works. That's how any sort of situation where you've got to wheel and deal a bit happens. And, I think, and actually, I think it was on a podcast I listened to today, they were saying if you flip your mindset out of thinking of him as a goal scorer and just think of him maybe in a more creative winger type capacity, actually, we might be quite pleasantly surprised. But look, the jury's massively out. It is a punt. This young kid from Sweden looks good. But, anyone can look good on a YouTube compilation, as everyone on the panel here knows.
Yes. Or bad, like you said, Phil. It's how you editing is amazing nowadays. Sorry, Benny, before we get to you, just want to see this from Tom here. Obviously, he's got some bad news. He needs some much needed dental work, but quoted $12,000, and I'm assuming that's pound. Yeah. $20,000. That's absolutely insane. Turkey, here I come. Forget that, Tom. Get your ass on a plane to India, and I bet you it would be less than half of that, and the work would be absolutely phenomenal. We know somebody that's flown from here to get dental work done over there, and it's really worked out for them. So just quickly catch up here. Paul G's in the house as well. Ash is here as well. Good evening to you guys. Graham is in the house. Big up, Graham.
Hey.
Good evening to everybody that's joined us. Spurs GCT is a solid window. Bought in well, cleared out as well. We go again in the summer. We'll be challenging next year for sure. Great attitude. I love that.
You can't.
Well, Ben, it's your turn. So carry on. Keep going. Keep going.
For me, I said this morning that it was an average of a 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10 at best. Because the way I'm looking at this team is ready to win something. They're the first 11 is a title winning first 11, in my opinion. They are so good as a first 11, but we're back to where we were under Pochettino. The moment you have to bring someone on from the bench, you don't just go down a tiny bit and you lose a tiny bit of a level. It goes down vertically. And that's
Do you
a
keep it
problem.
as a 4 by adding this comment from Adrian when you look at the big grand scope of everything, though? Because this is pretty detailed in terms of what happened just this window, which is big for January.
Those
still give it that low of a
players should
rating?
have been out 2 windows ago. Those players should have been out 2 windows ago, possibly 3 windows ago. I'm
But
happy
that's not the case. That's why we can't look backwards. We got to look at what's happening now and going forward.
But
right?
we are looking backwards because we've just looked at the transfer window just gone.
But it closed 2 days ago.
We are looking backwards.
Well, then next time we'll do the show on the transfer window day. But that's when Tottenham on tour was doing it for like 18 hours that you guys did.
Can I just add something to that?
We should.
No, Elly, you had your chance.
We should have signed.
Of course, Elly, go for it.
In regards to some of the signing, I'm really
Ben, right? I think it's when our bench players start. That's when we're weak. When we start with our best,
Hey,
the
Ryan,
best
good
ones
to
that
see
we've
you.
got at the time, or our best 11, that is the ultimate. But when we start with our best 11, we're supreme.
But
Right?
I'm told, Elly,
When we start
opinion,
with our
Elly.
bench players, then we drop a lot of. But when we bring them on late, they have been quite effective.
Surprisingly, yeah.
People on the bench should be ready to start a game of football, and if they can't start a game of football, they're not good enough. Like because Brennan Johnson scored a tap-in from 3 yards out, I'm told that Brennan Johnson is the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Oh, he's amazing. He's the best winger that this person ever seen, Ben.
Your point in that respect, yeah.
Timo Werner. People slate Timo Werner. Loads of people slate him.
He just had 2 good games. I think he had 2 good games for us in a row. Even the game before, he made the runs. Midfielders just didn't see him make the run.
He made runs and no one passed to him.
Exactly. That's not his fault.
His football IQ of being able to make those runs is brilliant, but someone's got to pass him the ball. And he was making all that space with his pace to give the balls to people like Brennan Johnson from 2 yards out for an unmissable tap-in. I was speaking with Graham this morning, and he was saying, like, I could have scored that tap-in that Brennan Johnson scored. Anyone could have scored that. And Brennan Johnson's had like 5-6 games to be able to put in a run of form. And Werner, like Adrian Schroeder, he's played 2 games and he's got 3 assists.
Yeah.
He's saying 3 assists in 3 games.
That's the FA Cup as well.
2 league games.
2 league games, 3 assists.
Yeah.
That's not bad. He's shown me more in 2 games than Brennan Johnson has showed me the entire season.
He's an older, a little bit more experienced player as well, so people are going to argue the fact that we got to give Johnson a bit of time, right?
If you're good enough, you're old enough.
Fair enough. Kuva, how do you feel about the Windu? Let's get your best Yoda impersonation while we talk about Windu.
Well, it's all right.
Okay, on that note, thanks for coming, everybody. Make sure you like and sub before you go.
Easing myself back in here. For me, it depends what you were looking to do this season as a fan. I'd already set myself to a long-term goal with what's happening now. So I was happy. I was prepared to have nobody come in this window, as long as we did the right business in the summer again. So it's been a bonus in that respect, but we also put ourselves in a position where we are up in the mix for the league title. We're quite a way off at the moment, to be fair. Liverpool are looking pretty ominous now, I think. City's starting to catch them, so it could be same as usual. But we had an opportunity. Now, were we prepared to jump in and fully go for it? If we were, then they were poor signings, because you need to go a lot better than that. You can't go for a player that's good 4 years ago and expect him to be dynamite when he comes in this time. You'd have to go for a big name, pay huge money for him, and try and make the difference. But we're clearly not doing that. So for me, I'm chilled about it. I'm relaxed. I see a long-term plan. I see the youngsters coming through. I see them making some clever signings to fit into the academy and build for the future, as well as bringing in the likes of Dragusin, who will challenge for first-team spots. And he does look a quality player right now. And we're building that sort of blend of players that are just coming to their peak and players that are young and hungry. A bit of mistakes in them at the moment. Look what's happening with your doggy at the moment. He's still a great player. He's going to be, but he's going to make mistakes. He's a youngster.
Yeah.
We've got to remember that he's
He's
it's not
19.
like he's a 23,
19.
24-year-old. Yeah, he's really raw still. So I think we're going in the right direction. I think a modest window is okay for me because it's all about what we're doing as collectively going forward. And if I really want to give it a mark, I'll give it a 14 out of 10 because we got rid of Eric Dyer.
All right.
Good thing I got these on because he's sitting right over here. I didn't want to have him to hear that and have to re-suffer all the pain that he's been suffering when he saw him go in the first place. Tom, quickly, sorry, we did see this. We're going to be having that as part of the discussion later, so I will bring it up again. Kuva, while you're on a roll, buddy, you want to address this from Stuart? When Sonny's back, does Werner go to the right?
No, I think we got a nice little conundrum then going on, don't we? I think Sonny's got to start, hasn't he? Without doubt. Now, does Richarlison carry on playing? Which one of them do you drop at the moment? I'd say there's an argument to be made for Richarlison comes out, Sonny goes through the middle, and we keep the two wingers where they are, and just go for that phenomenal pace across the front three. But it's a difficult one. It's a better position to be in than having to play certain players because there's no other choices left. At least we are starting to have choices now. Can rotate a bit, can try different things. Maybe we'll see him rotating a bit. Perhaps we'll see him play at different positions. Just see what we can get, how we can get the most out of each of these players. I think the biggest question marks at the moment, I thought was going to be over Werner, and he seems to be doing pretty well now. That last game, I thought he was really good.
I thought even the one before it, when he kept getting in all those spaces, me and the kids are sitting there screaming at the television, passing the damn ball. He's wide open.
Yeah.
Potentially, you could say you didn't really get the chance to see what he did there, but you could also say that if the ball had been played to him, it might have wasted it as well. So,
Daniel.
Don't really know. I've got to say, with what the bits he has done against Brentford, he looked good, better than I was expecting him to be. I think the question mark's more still over Johnson at the moment, who does look as still a bit timid, a bit unsure of himself at the club of this size. So let's see how it goes. I mean, we've got options. We've got players can play in different positions, and Timo Werner over on the right is one of those options as well. So who knows? We'll see what Ange thinks.
Well, Ben, you carry on then. Pick up Ash's comment while you're at it.
No, I wouldn't play three at the back. No.
Well, even with
Ange Postecoglou, his entire career has played three in midfield, with a number 6 that's ball playing with the 2 advanced number 8s. I wouldn't switch something he's used his entire career. For me, it's not right. I was just asking Kuva, does he think that we're going to win the quad next year?
Absolutely.
Of course. That's what a crazy question.
Straight to stop ball.
In fact, it's going to be the quintet.
Why would you even ask?
Yeah.
It'll be the quintet because we'll have the charity shield as well.
All right.
There you go. Mr. Phil P, sir.
Personally, I think, and the great thing is, with just like we saw the other day with Bentancur being taken off, and we're only 45 minutes into the fantastic situation of seeing Bentancur or King. What would he be? Prince Regent to Queen Elly? I don't know. But him playing with Madders for the first time, it didn't work out so well, but at least we'll always be able to remember the date and the time. And, some of us will be lucky enough to say we were there when the 2 great men took the pitch in Lily White for the first time. But yeah, the first 45 minutes weren't too great. But the thing that it showed me is whoever you are and whatever name you've got or reputation you've got, if you're not cutting it, mate, come and sit next to me on the bench, fella. And that's what we need. So in terms of who's going to play up front, me personally, if I was just going to think Sonny's reputation and what he brings to the team, maybe play him on the right, stick with Richie, who's in form, through the middle, and Werner on the left. But really, I would, in normal circumstances, I'd say Sonny through the middle and the rest of them just have to fit in form-wise. But the great thing, what this does, relating back to what I was saying, is the players pick themselves based on form. The manager says, have at it, lads. You show me in training that week who's up for this. And then based on that and what your form is like in the game, that's that's who's going to play and that's who's going to stay on the pitch come the end. But what this is already doing is, if you think whoever starts in that, so say the front three that I just mentioned, then you're going to have potentially Kulu and Johnson on the bench, and they'll be chomping at the bit to come on. And whatever we think about Johnson, I look, the jury's out for me on him. Even though he's had a few really good assists, the assist for Kulu's header at the Etihad, he set up a couple of nice first-time crosses at pace on the right for Richie's first couple of goals in this run that he's on. So he's done some really nice things, and I think he did well when he came off the bench at Palace as well, from memory.
Yeah.
Generally, though, he's been well below par, and I know no player affects their price tag, but really, considering you thought he would be what's, you know, the old adage, prem proven, he has seemed like a little, you know, a bit out of his depth. And to your point, Coover, maybe being a club of our stature, whatever that means, he's sort of been a bit in awe of the whole situation. But the fact that then you're going to be on form, and that you're right, it's not like in the Poch years where basically you knew who was going to start because they had to start. It's now going to be a case of you're there on merit, and if you're not living up to billing, you're going to be sitting on the bench. So everyone's hopefully going to be chomping at the bit to perform, and if not, they know what's going to happen. So there are the churn, even as meager as it is this window, will have added to that. But let's see what happens. Because look, beforehand, if you said to us what was going to be the situation in the midfield with AFCON, right, you'd have thought Basuma and Sarr, when they come back, are walking straight into that team. Basuma's got a lot of work to do because he hasn't been great since those first 10 games. So, you know, he's got to up his level. So he's not going to walk straight back into the team. You've got to prove yourself again, fella. It's a great situation.
Benson Kerr's our guy, though, Phil P. We know that Benson Kerr is just a genius.
Yeah, but now that Elly's put the name on the back, he
didn't perform the other day. And this is the thing. If Benton Call's not performing, Elly could kick him out of the bed and get Theo back in. Do you know what I mean? So it's all to play for.
That's a very good point,
Poor Theo. Theo.
Big up Theo. Hashtag save Theo.
In fact, actually, can I just ask Elly a question?
Wait. Well, is that a thing if you're a part of Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs? Your significant others are pushed down the stairs?
If I push my
actually, you know what? I think Theos would be okay on the stairs. The stairs.
He wouldn't survive it because his back has gone. His back is gone.
Ellie's already messed him up so much over the years that he can handle a tumble down the stairs. Is basically what she's saying.
You know what they say about us Greek ladies? We're tigers in the bedroom.
No comment from me.
Elly, try to behave yourself, Elly. I know it's hard, but try to behave yourself.
Because I was brought up with 7 boys, so you know I was corrupted from a very young age.
Hashtag save him. Hashtag save Theo.
Yeah.
So what do you think? What happens with Sonny? What happens with Werner? More importantly, when Sonny is back.
Well, if you're a betting person,
we have a good problem. Like a few people, Adrian and Daniel, are saying here, when everybody's back and fit and everything like that, these are the kind of problems we've wanted to have, and we want them to, in fact, increase.
Well, look at it logically. Look at it logically. You've got Sonny who assists and scores, so he has to go in. Whether he goes in Werner's position or back to the middle, and we drop Richie to the bench, but that seems a bit harsh, especially because Richie's hit a vein of form. But you know, you have to be cutthroat in football. That's what makes the top managers the top managers. And we're going to find out a lot about Ange Postecoglou in the coming weeks when Sonny returns. What headache he's got, because if Richie carries on this vein of scoring, it's going to be a difficult one for him. But I personally think Sonny is the most clinical striker in our setup, so he has to go back in, regardless if Richie is playing well and scoring, because Sonny just gives much more to the team than Richie does in a lot of ways, because he does assist. I think he's assisted 57 goals in his career at Spurs. So, you know, it's a no-brainer, really.
Yeah, but Elly, isn't that the problem that we've had, this sentiment as Spurs players? This is where I kind of fully agree with Phil. You're in form. You're working hard in training. You've earned your spot. You're playing. It doesn't matter what the name on the back of the kid is anymore.
Sonny's
Right.
captain now.
Sonny scored more goals than Richarlison, and he's been away for 3 weeks.
But hypothetically, he comes back. He's not performing up to par. He needs maybe a break coming back from the tournament and everything like that. Does he not get benched?
That's different. If he comes in for Richie and he's not performing, yeah, of course he goes to the bench. You have to be cutthroat. That's what
Elly just said she wants to bench Sonny. Oh my god.
Yeah, because you gave me the scenario. If he's not performing,
Oh,
If
sure.
he's not
It's
performing-
all my fault, right?
Both Kang kids are going to go
but
after.
if he's not
Here she
performing,
goes.
you have to be a tough manager, and that's what makes the elite managers win things.
She turns the camera off and gets vicious. Eh? She's been hanging around Kate too much. Hanging
Yeah.
around Kate too much. Don't worry.
Also-
I got this settled. I got this. We'll settle this right.
Excuse me! Quiet! It's game time!
You heard the man. You heard the man. That's enough of angry Elly. It is time for the game.
Oh dear.
I was getting worried there. Elly was about to go full.
She was. This is why we have these in here
Full
set
Greek
up.
mummer on you.
Intervention.
Yeah,
I'm quite
Into that.
savage when I get
Yeah.
going.
we have these intervention clips already, just ready to go for when people get too serious about the football chat.
It's hanging
Because at
around
the end
with
of the day, it's
Kate.
Friday night. We're here to have a laugh, right?
Listen, I hang around with Kate and Mia, who are the most two savage women on YouTube. So it's rubbed off on me.
That's what's happening.
What was that you were saying, Elly? Tiger in the bedroom, animal on the channel, on the panel, or something like that.
That's right. Savage.
Very savage. Well, we do have a new game for you, boys and girls. Here, we want to test it out with you, and we thought, why not use our dear friends here, as guinea pigs? So let's get into our new little fun. You saw it. It's time for Scandinavian Corner. This is where worlds
Funny,
collide,
man.
where Scandinavia and India combine, not only just showing our love, but to bring peace and joy to around the world through football and gaming. So it's very simple. I will give you two options. You pick the option that you'd like out of the two based on how quick you give your answer. And if Kuva likes your answer, he will decide how many points you get. At the end,
Okay.
the winner gets a round of applause. And maybe when I see you in person, a hug. But you'll have to remember that I owe you a hug because I will not remember it once we end the show. So hopefully you are ready. Coops, who are we going to start with?
Who's going to start? Oh, I think we should have the special guest first, shouldn't we?
Oh, they're all special.
Yeah, but I mean, not that kind of
Not the
special.
regulars. Oh, not that kind of special. Oh, okay. Okay, so the non-regulars. Okay, all right. So, Mr. Phil P, are you ready for Scandinavian Corner, sir?
Yeah. Born ready.
Very, very good. Plantini or Ian Rush?
Ian Rush.
Zola or Del Piero?
Del Piero.
Cantona or Shevchenko?
Cantona.
Kluivert or Cruyff?
Cruyff. What the fuck?
Well, I'll throw in a few messy ones for you. Can't make
That's
them
a
easy.
bonus point, by the way.
That's an extra bonus. Hey, you're the score master, buddy. You do whatever you want. Shearer or Daglish?
Dalglish.
Oh, sorry, Daglish. Nobody complained when I
Yeah,
said Cruyff and didn't say Cruyff.
Yeah, I pronounced it like it's meant to be pronounced, but yeah, move on. Please.
Sorry. I'm ignorant Canadian, man. Come on, it's Scandinavian Corner. You're supposed to say it with
Sorry,
Indian
sorry.
accent or a Scandinavian accent.
Fair enough. Dalglish.
R9 or Batistuta?
Batistuta.
Drogba or
No,
George
sorry,
Weah?
R9.
Oh.
R9. Sorry,
R9.
R9.
Okay. Drogba or George Weah?
George Weah.
Bebeto or Romario?
Romario.
Sheringham or Lineker?
Sheringham.
Good boy. Another bonus point. Another bonus point.
You didn't make that as difficult as you did earlier.
Teddy.
But you said not for Phil. the ones that.
Yeah,
But do you see what Elly did with her last name there? So remember the thing we were doing with Elly? Do I update it now that she's updated, or do I stick with our plan?
Stick with the plan.
Stick with the plan. The man's spoken. The man has spoken. Who was next? Ben or Elly?
Oh, let's go for Elly next.
Go for Elly next. Okay, Elly. Very simple for you.
On.
Maradona or Højbjerg?
Maradona.
Pelé or Højbjerg?
Hello.
Beckham or Højbjerg?
Beckham.
Hoddle or Højbjerg?
Hoddle.
Eriksson or Højbjerg?
Eriksson.
Zidane or Højbjerg?
Zidane.
Gaza or Højbjerg?
Gaza.
Ronaldinho or Højbjerg?
Ronaldinho.
Roy Keane or Højbjerg?
Roy Keane.
Mickey Hazard or Højbjerg?
Mickey Hazard.
Clearly, she doesn't love Højbjerg as much as she proclaims, people.
Traitor!
The truth has been revealed.
I might
Truth
be
has
stupid,
been
but I'm not
revealed,
right.
people. Right here, clip it, send it to Pierre. She just picked 10 other men.
Can I just stick up for?
Go ahead.
I want to stick up for our Royal Highness Queen Elly. I'm not sure Højbjerg or any of his family would have picked him over any of those players.
They would
You know what, Phil? But you're bringing logic into the game.
True.
That was funny though. I like that.
I thought you were hesitating on Roy Keane, and I thought I was going to have to leave the show.
No. I told you I'm not. I might be stupid, but I'm not blind.
Elly is a savage. Just I see Anita's in the house. Good evening to you, Nita. Nice to see you. They got me that. Oh, it is. It is. You know it is, Drew La La.
That is fucking fantastic.
That's just for you, Drew La La. That's just for you. Yeah, Paul, I'm glad you guys enjoyed that. Complete flip-flop. Complete flip-flop. Kate is here, and she witnessed it as well. I don't know what these things are, but hopefully they came up on YouTube. Thong wearer. All right, Benji, are you ready?
Yeah.
It's your turn, sir. Very simple one for you. Very simple one for you. Where the hell did it go? There it is.
I'm worried.
No, here it is. No, yours is easy. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Coffee or Coke?
Coffee.
Coffee or Pepsi?
Coffee.
Coffee or Sprite?
Coffee.
Coffee or 7-Up?
Coffee.
Coffee or Fanta?
Coffee.
Coffee or orange juice?
Coffee.
Coffee or chocolate milk?
Coffee.
Coffee or craft beer?
Oh.
You didn't think it was going to be that easy now, did you, Benji boy?
Fantastic.
Fucking fantastic.
Here you go, coffee.
Coffee
Now.
or Højbjerg?
Coffee.
And the last but
One
not
of the
least,
best ones.
coffee or coffee?
Coffee.
Double coffee.
See, Elly, I hope you just learned something there.
Wait
That's
a
it.
minute. Wait a minute.
Hold on.
I think we need to
Are
VAR that.
you checking it? Do you need
VAR.
to
VAR.
You got
VAR.
to
Check
check
it.
it. Coops, check it.
VAR.
Ladies and gentlemen, please hold while Kuba is doing his check. Check is complete.
I'm sorry, Ben, but we've got to take your first answer. The correct answer would have been coffee.
Ah, man. Dude, no, it's the first time
He's-
we're playing
he's
the
lost-
game.
he's
No,
lost it
we're
at the
not
last.
giving them a chance. Look, we expect to give our players a chance.
Coffee
so
or craft beer is that's hateful.
we couldn't make them all easy for you, Benny. Couldn't make them all easy for you.
Yeah.
Do we have a winner, Coops?
We do. It's actually Elly.
Yay.
Hey,
I'm
Elly,
against my man.
congratulations.
Flippy floppy.
Congratulations. Here's your round of applause.
Yeah.
There's your prize. Here's your virtual hug. By all means, you can take that virtual hug. You can put it on TikTok. You can celebrate it as much as you'd like. Make sure you call your whole family. Let them know. If you want to go outside right now, pop your top and go screaming in the street and let them know you just won the game. That's fine. We can hold on a minute.
Yeah. If you'd said Morpay or Højbjerg, I would have chosen Højbjerg.
Okay, I'll make it easier for you next time. Yeah.
I think I'd rather
Leo!
Or Robbie Savage. I hate Robbie Savage. Oh,
I think I'd
Sorry,
rather
Robbie
be shot in the
Savage.
face than have Mopay.
yeah, I just want to punch his lights out.
To be fair, I wouldn't mind getting my hands on Mopay.
Yeah.
I think a lot of
Can I
people
just
wouldn't
say,
mind, but
though,
let's face it. Sorry, go ahead, Paul.
I want to congratulate Ben and a little bit myself, because unlike certain managers in the northwest of England this week, we didn't sort of get one bad result by a horrific error of VAR and decide that we were going to quit the club in 3 months' time. So, it is what it is. I'm just throwing it out there.
That's something to talk about. Is it that damaging? Do you think is that what's really just crumbled his spirit inside completely?
I think it's just that, with all these supply chain issues and the issues in the Red Sea, meaning that, everyone's got to go around the Cape of Good Hope. He just can't get his hands on any inhalers anymore. So he thinks I better leave before the final supply runs out. Allegedly. Obviously.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
He said allegedly.
Yeah.
He said
Covering your back.
allegedly.
It's a weird place when farmers in France agree.
David,
with
be good.
What was that?
All
Ben?
right, Coobs. You want to start with this, Coobs? How do you feel? Can the current squad get top four? Dare we say even push the title?
Oh, am I going to answer that myself first? Okay, go on. I'll do this one easily. Of course, we're going to get top four. It's absolutely sail through it. Real question is, can we go for the title? And right now, I've got to say, unfortunately, I have a gut feeling about Liverpool just being on a hell of a run now. They've tightened up at the back. Virgil van Dijk's looking like his best again. They got one of the world's best goalkeepers, arguably the best at the moment, despite the form of Vicario. You have to look at what Alisson's done over the course of time, and he's been fantastic for them. But now they're banging in goals from everywhere. I was even watching interesting when Alexander Arnold's off the pitch and their young right back comes in, sets up one goal. He looked absolutely superb. He knew how to find his man with a cross, get into space all the time. They're just pulling out gems out of that academy at the moment, and they've got quality to go with it. And the way Klopp has rebuilt that midfield in one season has been outstanding. They look like an absolutely great team at the moment, and that's despite the hit and miss performances of Darwin Núñez, who's been ridiculed all season, but he's still banging a few goals in. It doesn't matter if he is failing; other people step up, and they got goals all over him. So I think it might be a bit much for us this season, unless something catastrophic happens, which things can. So all I'd like to see us do is just finish the season as strongly as we can, keep winning as many games as we possibly can. I think we can do a lot, and just hope they slip up, because we've got quite a few points to make up already, and it's a tough run-in we're going to have as well. I think our last 6 or 7 games are all really tough ones on paper. It could decide things for us in the end of the day, but it's been a fun season so far. I think we'll finish it well. I think we'll have a good feel-good factor about the club but come the end of the season. Look forward to that summer transfer window, and it's full steam ahead.
It's going to be a tough act to follow, Benji, but what do you say? Is he right? Is he wrong?
If this squad, if we go, I was with Graham tonight, and we were having a few, and we were talking about the potential of the end of the season. If we go 9 points from the next 3 games, there is no reason why we can't go for a league title. We are within the race. If we go to Aston Villa to Villa Park and we beat Aston Villa, there is no reason why we can't go for a league title. Teams above us, Liverpool and Manchester City, are teams like any other team, and they have the potential to drop points. Teams lose to every other team. That is the magic of the Premier League, that anyone can lose to anyone. One day, Luton Town might take a scalp off of a Man City or a Chelsea anyone can beat anyone. And all we've got to do is focus on ourselves. And if we win games of football, we'll put ourselves in a good position. So keep going, see what we can do. And let's hope for the best. And hopefully they can do it. I believe if we can keep this starting 11 fit, we can beat anyone in the Premier League. This starting 11 is great. It's those supporting cast members that I worry about.
Well, did Eeyore just
I've
get
got to
positive
say-
on us?
Yeah, I've got to say that Jim has just messaged me to tell me off for not being positive enough.
Oh, did he really? You know what? That's maybe you want to. We'll go back around and then we'll give you a second chance. Crank it up
negative,
a little,
Cougar.
buddy.
You're always so
He is.
negative.
Phil, can you please bring a ray of sunshine into the dark cloud that Kuva has brought over and part these clouds for us, my friend?
Listen, if
It's gonna be tough,
Kuva's
man. Those Scandinavians, they can fight.
Listen, Kuva's being massively realistic, and that's worrying me. I think anything can happen. Just on the base of what I've just seen in the last 5 minutes, anything can happen. Listen, I think I actually make Kuva. You're 100% right. Look, it would have to be a massive turn up for the books for it to happen, but then that was probably the case at the start of the season. I don't think we're going to. I just don't see us amassing more points and making up the difference over Man City and Liverpool. But you know what? Look, my dad knows, he's forgotten more about football than I'll ever know. And he said from the beginning of the season that we'd be the surprise package. And to a certain extent, you can say we already are, this season. Obviously, we won't get the credit from certain quarters because of who we are and the fact that we live rent-free in a lot of people's heads. Pundits.
I'm sorry.
Massive media corporations included.
Sorry,
but look, the main thing is, and you said it again, Kuva, earlier, the main thing is we're all enjoying our football again. And of course, we all want to win things. It's a waste of breath even saying it. We'd all be absolutely over the moon if we did pull off a miracle and win the title, especially from here. But for me, if you compare where we are now versus last season, it's just you can't believe it's only sort of 9 months or whatever it is from where we were in the depths of despair when we got absolutely tonked at Newcastle to where we are now. It's unreal. And whatever we say about the leadership at the club, there has been major churn in. And look, one thing I talk about a lot is I don't think I've ever seen, not just at Spurs, but for any team, how many players we've brought into the squad for the first time. And I know players like Udogie, was obviously tried and tested in Italy, but he wasn't tried and tested in North London. Sarr had hardly played, but okay, he was around. But you think Madders come in, Van der Ven's come in, Vicario's come in, and all of them not just have settled in, but they look unbelievable. Like, sort of in teams a season contention type of form. And now, just 3 players alone has completely transformed the whole outlook and feeling of the club, let alone all the others that are melded in as well. So there's a lot to look forward to. And no matter what we think about the signings this window, you could easily think if we went out and bought a decent striker, maybe another winger, even though we've seemed to have 50,000 in the squad,
48,000,
28,000, and maybe
48.
Cover for Udogie or another midfielder. Like, what other holes are there in the squad? So it's a really weird situation to be in as a Spurs fan. But look, for me, as soon as we got knocked out of the FA Cup, the rest of the season for me is a completely free hit. All I'm looking for is, and you can call me greedy if you want, a win away at West Ham, a win at home against the Woolwich Running Club, and a win at Stamford Bridge. Apart from that, whatever they want to do, I'm happy with. I will just go there and enjoy it and maybe have a few drinks along the way. But big up Ange.
Antwerp
and big up the
Arms.
whole team.
Get Antwerp Arms. Get your loyalty cards in.
Listen, newsflash. Ben, I handed in my loyalty card because I got up to the 9th pint and wanted the 10th one free. They have discontinued the loyalty card.
Oh,
No.
that's not good.
Annie.
There's 36
All right.
of you in here. For those of you that have social media, please contact the Antwerp Arms and ask them
What the
"Love
hell?
that shit, yo." Elly, before we take it to you, Daniel Lee brought this point in. There's Liverpool's got 1 loss in 35 league games, and then Adrian echoed it up a little bit here. 1 game in 22, and they would have to lose 3 of the last 16, and we'd
Yeah.
have to go on a winning streak to catch them. Is it possible though? Mathematically, we know it is possible. Can you see it happening? How do you feel?
Do you know what? It'll have to be something like when they went through that sticky patch when COVID was on, and they couldn't win a home game. It'll have to be one of those catastrophic downfalls. But then you've got Man City, who are 3
Wow.
points behind. We're 3 points behind them. And they've played 1 game less. So it has to be. Really, we have to win all our matches, and we have to beat Man City and Liverpool to stand any chance. But you know what? I'm a big believer in fate, right? So the last time we won the league title, guys, we finished the season off winning the league title at both Sheffield United, right?
Yeah.
Sheffield Wednesday. But this
Wednesday.
time we play Sheffield United last game of the season, and I said this on Kate's show as well, right? I've had a dream that myself, Kate, and Mia will be running on the pitch to lift Dad Postecoglou when we've won the league. So I'm sticking by that. I've really got optimism that we can do it, but it does rely on the other teams dropping points.
Yeah.
And they're notoriously good at not dropping points, but it can happen. It's not mathematically impossible. And I've always got a little superstition, because we're playing Sheffield United at the end of the season. Maybe that is the game where we're going to have that Aguero moment. But this time it's going to be Sonny! Yes, come on, you Spurs!
Anything can
I'd
happen.
love to have that.
Anything can happen in football. The Woolwich were nailed on to win the league title. You saw their little fans all running about saying how they're going to win the league title. Then they drew 3 games in a row, being 2-0 up, and then they drew 3 games in a row.
Yeah.
Anything can happen in the Premier League. When
I
you think you've got everything wrapped up, there's always a curveball. Unless we're in the race, you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
David Shire's got a very important question for you here, Phil.
How much is a pint? Well,
At the Antwerp.
At the Antwerp, I'm assuming.
what are we talking about, Ben? Probably £6.50, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Terrible situation. Terrible
Yeah.
situation.
Just
Weirdly,
saying their government raises the taxes all the time.
the drink is actually a bit more reasonable inside the stadium, which is
Yeah.
We're
crazy.
not
but-
supporting a local business, though, Phil.
no, exactly.
Yeah.
Antwerp arms all the way. So anyone that's
Everyone
coming
says
in,
that. I paid £6.50 for a 2/3. So
true.
I remember
I'm
being
happy
in
to pay £6.50 for a pint if it's a good pint.
Yeah,
I remember being in Bar 8 with Philip Yap, who's Phil Lattis, and Mark Cousins. And there was one guy, he was shouting that the beer was too expensive in there. And he was having a right go at the bar people. Because I think it was £7.50 or £8 a pint, which was awful. That's daylight robbery.
Well, it's because Levy owns the number 8 bar. So
Yeah.
We've
Yeah,
got
but weirdly,
another
Elly-
question here. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
Go. No, please, you go ahead.
We were in there once, me and my dad,
Yeah.
and we got charged a different price at different bars within the same pub. It was very strange. So
Yeah.
anyway, I
There's
don't
one
think
at
we've
the
been
front,
back in there
isn't there?
since.
There's a bar at the front. There's 2
Yeah.
bars at the front at that pub. Yeah.
Ash P has just invited us all to Goa because the drinks are a
I
lot
can't
cheaper
go
there.
to India, Ash. I can't go
Yeah.
to India.
Why can't you go to India? Well, what is the wrong with India?
There's nothing wrong with India. There's something
Can you sign
massively
over a bit?
there's something massively wrong with my immune system, and I can't have
Oh,
the
all
injection.
I hear is I.
Exactly.
There's no I
I
in
just said
India.
that.
Oh, wait.
India
There's
begins
two.
with I.
There's 2. Never mind. Okay, it's okay.
I
It's
just
okay.
said
Actually,
I can't have injections.
Why don't we do this? Okay, Ben's going to have to sit this round out, but why don't we basically get together with Tom, the money that he's going to save on the dental treatment that he'd have in East London, he can, or Essex, we can all
That's it.
go over to
Go
Goa,
Goa.
and
That's
he
what
can
the
get his
sound
teeth
bubble.
fixed, and we can get on the tear with Ash.
Ashby, you're in
Oh
the
my
house. Can
God.
you please let us know if you've got contacts for a
Yeah.
good dentist that we can sort Tom
That's
out
something
with?
I want to see. Phil
It's
P Phil P on the go with Ash.
On the go and Goa.
Yeah.
I'm coming.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
tagging
happily
along.
married,
I'm tagging
Ben,
along.
but let's give it a go.
Mind
Ah,
you,
we're all just mates.
Being married doesn't mean you don't go to the pub and drink about 17 beers.
Oh, sorry, I thought we were talking about something else. That's fine.
No.
Brilliant.
for 12 grand though, couldn't we all just like go to the Antwerp anyway, get leathered, pull his teeth with a pair of pliers, and everybody's a winner?
Yeah.
Well,
Actually, I think
interestingly,
that could be £2,000. We could save Tom a lot of money. I think you're onto something there,
Yeah.
Coos. Tom, contact Coos.
I don't know if this is an urban legend, but and obviously, God rest him, recently gone. When Shane McGowan earlier on in his career had horrific teeth,
He did.
so the record company paid for him to go somewhere like, say, Thailand to get his teeth fixed, and he got his teeth fixed. And while he was over there, though, the drink was so cheap or just wet and cold, and he got on the tear and basically fell over in the gutter and smashed all his teeth out.
Oh no!
Oh dear. That's not a good.
So yeah, so maybe Tom, be careful when we all go on the lash with Ash. Maybe do it when you're hungover. Get on the tear first and then go to the pub. Oh, sorry,
Okay.
dentist.
See, this is the issue here. Yeah, Ash is saying she's got dentist, but Tom is saying he's got no teeth, and that's the problem. So that being said, if you were willing to invest in, I said £2,000, invest £3,000, we can get a couple other people drunk. We can knock their teeth out and give them to you, Tom. Problem solved. Problem solved.
Nobody wants my teeth though; they're all filled.
We've got a question here from Tom81, and before we answer it, I'm going to bring in one more guest here who always loves Spot the Bull and decided that he wants to come and join us before we start the game. He's just here to have a little bit of fun. I hope he's got his bottle of vodka open. Mr. Smitty Smith is in the house. Lee, where's the vodka? You got the vodka?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. We can hear you now. Yeah. Are you
Sorry,
ready?
boys. Lateness
Are you
is
leveled
greatness
up?
and all that. I've got some vodka.
There you go. So he's definitely ready for Spot the Bull. Tom81 is here. Big up Lee Smith. I don't know if you've been watching yet. We've just been messing around a little bit here, but we are talking football so far. It'll come to an end soon, folks. Don't worry. Could Woolwich take the points this weekend against Liverpool?
Nah.
They're home, right? So, Lee, what do you think? So you just come in. Let's get a couple of words out of you here.
No, I reckon Liverpool will smash them. Is it Anfield?
No.
No,
empty
it's
crate.
The Emirates.
I'm still not saying they're winning. Liverpool winning.
Fair enough. What do you think, Elly?
You know what? I know this might be controversial, but I have to be savage tonight because I'm trying to keep up my savage appearance. But it would be better if Arsenal beat them.
Sorry, is this true? Carl Weathers passed away?
Who?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh, but
Carl Weathers.
Creed.
I don't know who that is.
Apollo
Apollo.
Creed, the guy that played Apollo Creed, the
Yeah.
guy that was in the first Predator movie.
Yeah, Dylan.
Oh man,
is he the one who was in Happy Gilmore?
he wasn't
as
even
well?
that old
Yeah.
either. Yeah, he was in
He was
Happy
in Happy
Gilmore.
Gilmore, yeah.
Some
he's
iconic
the
roles.
coach tease. Yeah, he was the coach. Big up, Jose. Hope you're having a good time,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
You know
Enjoy
what?
your videos at the stadium, buddy.
I didn't realise until I read his obituary earlier. He was an NFL linebacker
Yeah.
and
no
then
way.
turned actor.
Right, okay.
What a legend!
Wow.
Wasn't he in the
Apollo
Mandalorian as
Creed.
well?
Yeah, and he directed a few episodes of Mandalorian as well.
Chubbs.
So his career was really on, back on good footing. So
76. Wow.
gutted, and he looked in
76,
great
died in
nick.
his sleep. I was going to say, I didn't think he looked 76. That's why I was thinking he's young still.
Yeah, well, he went several rounds with Dolph Lundgren, so that'll do it to you.
Yeah, we know
I
how that
know.
ended, though.
And he had to put up with Adam Sandler as well.
That was a lot of work.
Yeah.
I know we're getting to that time, but there is something that I wanted to just quickly go over with you guys. Udoji had absolutely mare of a game, as you guys say over there in England, was involved in all 5 goals. Unfortunately, 2 were not for his team. I didn't see him get attacked by content creators or in the media or anything like that, the way I feel some of our other players would have been. Am I wrong here, or is it?
He
Are
doesn't
we
deserve
allowing
it.
it because he's been pretty standard and been pretty consistent and played very well for the most part? And is that why he
he's a
gets?
youngster as well. I think that's the
Go ahead,
biggest
Coops.
point for me.
Yeah.
Go,
Yeah,
keep going,
he's
Coops.
finding his
Take it
feet.
around.
Yeah, he's still very young compared to some of the other players around him, and he's going to make mistakes. And I'm cool with that because I think he brings a lot more to the game than he loses. So yeah, we look at the way the team plays when he's not on the left flank. We look very weak down that side when he's not there. And he's been phenomenal this season. I think he's been one of the bright points. So a few games where he's not at his absolute peak, I'm okay with. I think we're looking at a long-term, great player for us. And it wasn't long ago we were all talking about, oh yeah, Real Madrid will come sniffing for him at some point.
Yeah.
I don't think a couple of bad performances is going to change that.
But we don't have to worry about that because Barcelona and Bayern Munich can't beat us to players anymore. So screw Real. Ben, do you think that a possibility of complacency is setting in because he doesn't have somebody behind him pushing him for a spot?
No, I think Kauff got his spot, and he's a 19-year-old. He's a 19-year-old boy. I know he doesn't look it because he's built like an absolute monster, but he's 19. He's 19. He's going to make mistakes, and he's a progressive footballer, which means he does what Ange Postecoglou wants his players to do: look up and make mistakes, because he's trying to be progressive. You will make mistakes if you're progressive. Unlike one of the things people level at me about a certain Højbjerg is he has loads of complete passes. The reason he has loads of complete passes is because he passes sideways and backwards 2 yards. He's not trying to beat man. He's not trying to push a ball. He passes a ball sideways 2 inches. So no wonder he's a stat padder like Harry Winks was. Easy passes. Was a donkey? Well, it's not. I've seen the graph, Elly. I've seen the graph. I've seen the graph.
I don't agree.
But that's what the
Well,
graph.
then, Elly, by all means, counter Benny right now. Why don't you pick up the conversation
Well,
right there and give your thoughts?
If you just take the last 3 games, he's made the most progressive passes, key passes in our team. That's a fact. That's a fact. All
I'm
right?
looking at the entire season now, Elly.
He keeps it simple. He hasn't played for most of the season, though, right? So he's been
played
on the
quite a
bench
lot
for
of
most
it.
of the season. He's only started 3 games, I think, out of 19. So I'm not here to defend Højbjerg anyway, but I'm just saying that he does make the most progressive passes where the
Why did you change your name to Bentancur and you're on about Højbjerg? We saw how much Højbjerg love you have in the previous game. Should we recap that? Do you want us to clip it and bring it all up?
I'm just correcting.
I've
You know
seen-
what? I wanted
I've
to
seen
talk about. I wanted to talk about Destiny.
Flip flop.
Because he shares
Yes.
he shares a birthday with me, and he's actually 21. He's not 19, right? So, yeah, and he was born in Verona in Italy. He's 6 foot tall. He's built like a brick house. He's going to make mistakes, but I love him because the only thing on his mind is to press the ball and to get forward. And the goal that he scored against Brentford was fantastic. You know, all right, he made a couple of errors, and the big boo-boo was when he passed back. And he's done that.
Stop it.
You have to.
Kate, stop it. Stop trying to wind her up, okay?
No, I don't mind Kate. But everybody's
I don't want to
got
make this a Højbjerg art.
Everybody's got their opinions, right? So it doesn't.
To be
matter.
fair, Kate has to just
Perfect timing,
rest
Phil. Keep
because
going.
I think she might have the same cataracts issues that the old boy Antonio had. Because if she thinks I look like Alfie Bow, she better throw Jim in front, like the old draft excluder. But instead of going behind the wall, behind her front door, because I'm going to come looking for her, right? So if she can't see what's going on with me and Alfie Bow, maybe she can't see what's going on with Mr. Queen Højbjerg. Listen, the only thing I'd say, just quickly on Højbjerg, I think, I don't think he's good enough for what we're trying to do. But I give him a bit of respect because he's come on and done a good job for us in a lot of games this season. Yeah. So I respect that.
In an Antonio Conte system or a Jose Mourinho system, Højbjerg is fantastic because he's an
Yeah, he's
interceptor.
better. I wouldn't say fantastic and Højbjerg goes in the same sentence.
He turns over the ball and gives it to
Phil.
someone that can play football. In this system, he's nowhere near good enough, which is why in the last 10 minutes against Manchester City was like Stuart Nethercott, and he caused both 2 goals. And
Yeah.
he was like Stuart Nethercott.
But to counteract
All right,
that,
I'm going to cut.
when he
I'm sorry,
came
Ellie.
on-
I'm
Wait.
going to cut you both off, guys. I'm going to cut you both off. Phil, I wanted you to talk about Destiny. I don't want to talk about Højbjerg.
Listen,
No, I
before
didn't
we
want to
do
talk
this,
about it either.
before we do this, can I just ask Kate, right? I don't know because I've not seen his prescription from the optometrist, but from what I've seen of Jim, the thickness of his glasses leads me to believe that he may not have the best eyesight in the world. So she can take her picture of Alfie Bow and her opinion of me and Alfie Bow and go and take it to the snooker table. Okay, that's all I'm...
That doesn't look like Phil P at all.
He don't look like
Look at
nothing
this.
like him. Kate, that's why. That's why
That doesn't
Kate
look
He
like
looks a
him
goes
at
to
all.
opticians.
To be fair, he looks a little bit like my left
She's
gonad.
already
that?
been. She's already
I
been
look-
to the optician. She's getting new
She sent
glasses.
me a few pictures as well. She's
She's
so
getting
funny.
new glasses, Phil.
Yeah, but
She
but
is
hold
getting
on.
new glasses in her defence.
What are any of the pictures
That
she
looks
sent
nothing
you of?
like him.
Look
Don't
at
look.
this.
He looks. Oh God, no.
He's got a
Sweet
massive
Jesus.
forehead.
Sweet
See,
Jesus.
this
Anyway,
comments like this make me upset. Women want sensitive men, and then when we are sensitive, they call us out. That's
Kate, listen, I'm only, you know, when you tease girls because you like them, it's not that. Okay, so on to Destiny. What I think is the reason he hasn't got a lot of stick is the same reason that he made that bad pass and put in Tony. A lot of the media and Destiny himself had Tony to score in a 3-2 Spurs win, right? Because, you know, I know we shouldn't talk about gambling or that sort of thing, but that's exactly what happened. And I think it's great. So, you know, Destiny, absolutely brilliant. Of course, he's making mistakes. Same as the guys have said, he's a young guy, but look, he got a good goal. He started the comeback for us. So I think,
Yeah.
look, if every player who had a bad game for Spurs sort of evened it out by getting a goal and getting us rocking again, and he was also instrumental in getting the ball to Timo in good positions as well. So look, just sometimes you have got to take the rough with the smooth. He in microcosm is a bit the same as the entire team at the moment, and the entire club. It's ups and downs, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. It's going to take a while to completely hit our groove. And a lot of these players, to be fair, probably overperformed. So sometimes we're going to get a bit of a reality check. And I think that's just what's happening with Destiny. Look, you could say he had one of his worst games, but in total, would you say he had a really bad game? Okay, 2 misplaced passes. He was probably an error in some way for both their goals. But, you know, we won the game. So in the end of the day,
he
who
scored,
gives a
so I
flying...
think that saved him.
Exactly.
Look, he's a progressive player, and progressive players make mistakes. They will make mistakes, and that's
Yeah, like Højbjerg.
that is what that. At the end
Destiny
of the
takes.
game,
Destiny
at
takes
the end of
risks.
the day, this Ange Postecoglou team will concede goals. We have been involved in 80 goals this year because we concede a lot of goals and we score a lot of goals. We're the third highest scorers in the league.
Yeah.
When you've got players like Destiny that want to progress the ball, they want to bring the ball up the pitch. The way we play, you do concede goals. We will make mistakes, but Destiny has been one of the highlights of the season. He's been absolutely top draw.
He's no Van de Ven, but he's okay, I suppose.
He's superb.
He's okay.
He's different from Van de Ven. Van de Ven doesn't progress the ball like Destiny does.
But because Destiny progresses, Van de Ven covers him, so
Yeah,
that just makes him even
they
more
know their
fantastic
role.
than I think he
They
already
know
is.
their role within the team.
Mr. Smith. Smitty,
Before
what
I
are your thoughts?
Before I answer about Destiny, as I was coming in the room, what today about no loyalty cards at the Antwerp Arms?
Yeah, it's been done away with, mate.
That's what Lee heard. That's all he, forget
That's
any
the shit
football
that
chat.
matters,
He
that
didn't
is
give a shit.
Bobby.
He's been sitting here for like 10 minutes just waiting so he can ask that
Smithy, you know what it
question.
was? You know what it was? I think I walked in. I think I ordered 4 pints, but said, "Look, I've got a loyalty card," and they were just like, "This guy's going to do some serious damage here. You know, we're only a small little local pub. This could send us under." So they thought discretion was the better part of valor, and basically, then I went out back later and I could see them burning loyalty cards in a bin. It was pretty raw, pretty raw.
Oh dear.
I'm gonna have
No,
words.
that bit's completely made up.
Phil,
By the way.
And
Phil,
please
we're
be
taking-
taking that pub over as well.
next game, we're taking over the Antwerp Arms. Me, you, Smithy, and Ellie. We're taking it over. We're taking the entire path.
Come
We'll
on.
And
barricade
Leo will be
ourselves
there-
in.
Leo will be there as well with you, so you're gonna have 2 big tattooed boys up with
Bouncers outside love me, so I'll be all right.
you. All right, Smitty, what do you think? Why did Udoji's poor display get away unnoticed almost? Why was he not raked over the coals like some of our other players I think might have been?
I agree with what everyone else has said. One of them, he put his hands up and he said he didn't see the geezer behind him, so I can't really blame him for that. I thought he was a bit hard done by with the yellow card. Someone's foot. But apart from that, he's literally been my favourite signing, I think, this season so far. He's unreal for 20 years old.
21.
21,
21.
whatever.
Yeah, okay, 21.
Boy,
That,
mental.
that makes a big difference, especially to me when I'll be 48 in a few days here.
21 in November he was.
21 today.
Don't tell me November 11th, otherwise I will be getting.
No, he was born on my birthday, 28th of November. So, you know, all great people are born on the 28th of November. You know?
Nah,
Yeah,
11th of November.
Ellie, Stewart, and Udoji.
And that was my mum's birthday as well.
Oh,
see?
really?
You see, Kuva? Great people.
Legendary day.
I'm like
Legendary
Hype,
day.
he's just
The
a
woman,
he's just
the
a
woman
Danish
who
Stuart
created
Nethercott.
Kuva.
Ben, who the hell is Stuart Nethercott?
He's a terrible.
Oh, God.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut the fuck up! Shut up now! It's game time.
Ooh,
That's the
sorry
most
there,
aggressive
Benny.
I've seen Kuva all night.
What we live for.
I don't think
I
that
actually
people wants
thought
to
that
talk
was a.
football anymore.
I thought that was a Stuart Nethercott alert.
Hey, we could use it. We could use it. Well, obviously, Kuva is at the point where he does not want to talk about football anymore. I will drop everything and hand the reins over to the sexiest co-host in the community, in the world, actually. I'll say it. I said it. Coobs, they're all yours, guy. It's time for Spot the Bull.
It's been a bit rushed this week from me, but yeah, it's that time of the show when I will read out 9 different stories in 3 blocks of 3, and it's a simple case of guessing which one is the true story, or at least based on the truth.
Based on a true story, you know. Yep.
Which one is completely a fabrication by my co-host Bobby K, and which one is a fabrication of my own making. So you can probably guess what the stories are like if you know Bobby K and I very well. So we'll do that, and of course the scoring will just be simply as it is with football. You either end up with no points per round, 1 point for getting 1 right, or 3 points for all of them.
Okay.
And it's simply a case of who accumulates the most points at the end of the day wins it. So some fantastic prize. I don't know. Perhaps another Bobby K hug. Perhaps we'll do a Hoover hug as well if you win it.
Oh, doubling up sandwich?
Doubling up.
Wow.
So that's the simplicity.
Oh, hold
of
on.
the
I
game.
just got 18 messages for people that want to join the show all of a sudden. Sorry. You can't join after you know what the prize is. That's not the way the contest works.
The problem is all 18 messages are from me.
No, only 17. Yeah, my mom sent me a message too. While I'm on the show, yeah, my mom always goes, "Oh, I think he is streaming right now. Let me call him. All day he's been sitting at home doing nothing. I could have talked to him, but now I call him," which is really weird because she doesn't.
I
Talk like that.
wanted this hug for my lovely son-in-law Guva.
That's what it is. Yep. All right,
She's
boys
not
and girls,
Welsh,
it is
man.
time. It is time. They're all yours, Coops.
Okay, so
Bring
we
up the
will
banners
start
here.
off.
Boom.
Yep, first story, zoo monkey captured after 5 days on the loose in Scotland. And this story goes, Honcho was a mischievous monkey who lived in the Scotland Zoo. He was known for his quick wit and playful nature and was adored by the zookeepers and visitors alike. However, things took a turn for the worse when Honcho managed to escape from his enclosure one day. Jill G, the head zookeeper, was frantic as he searched for the missing monkey. He enlisted the help of the Boff, the resident animal expert. They combed the Scotland Highlands for 5 long days, but Honcho was nowhere to be found. Just when they were about to give up, a report came in from a nearby town, Got the Munchies, a small village nestled in the mountains, had reported sightings of a strange monkey acting erratically. The team immediately rushed to the location, and sure enough, there was Honcho ripping apart plants on a marijuana plantation. But something was different about Honcho. The usually playful and energetic monkey seems lethargic and disorientated. Upon closer inspection, the Boff found that Honcho had been snacking on a local grow-up field filled with marijuana plants. He had been under the influence of marijuana for the past 5 days, explaining strange behavior and disappearance. The team quickly grabbed Honcho and brought him back to the zoo. Gil G scolded the monkey for his reckless behavior, but couldn't help but laugh at the absurdity of the situation. Honcho, on the other hand, seemed quite content with his adventure and continued to munch on the remaining marijuana leaves. From then on, Honcho was kept under strict surveillance to ensure he didn't escape again. So that's the first story. It's
Sorry, did you say the guy's name was Gil G?
Gil G.
Gil G, interesting. And we got Phil P on this. Okay, just
Yeah. No relation.
No relation. So that's your first story?
The second story is the tiger breaks out of Delhi Zoo, causing mass panic and chaos. Again, Gil G was a renowned scientist in the bustling city of Delhi, India. It's strange that he's getting around a bit. He spent most of his days in his laboratory conducting experiments and trying to make groundbreaking discoveries. One day, while walking through the city, Gil came across a commotion near the Delhi Zoo. Curious, he went to investigate and was shocked to see that the horny Bengali tiger named the Boff had escaped from the zoo and was roaming the streets.
The Boff?
The Boff, yeah. Without hesitation, Gil sprang into action. He knew that he had to capture the tiger before it caused any harm. He followed the tiger as it ran through the streets, causing chaos wherever it went. Eventually, the tiger stumbled upon a distillery and without hesitation, it entered and started drinking from the barrels of alcohol. Gil couldn't believe his eyes as he watched the tiger get drunk and stumble around. But things took a turn for the worse when the tiger's drunken state led it into a nearby park where several wild dogs were roaming. In its drunken stupor, the tiger began shagging all the dogs, possibly impregnating several of them. The Boff was extremely talented. He almost single-handedly rewrote the Kama Sutra with the moves he was performing. Gil couldn't believe what he was witnessing and quickly called for his help. Soon, a team from the zoo arrived and managed to tranquilize the Boff and bring him back to the zoo. The incident caused quite a stir in Delhi, with people talking about the drunken tiger and its wild escapades. Gil, on the other hand, couldn't stop laughing at the absurdity of it all. The next day, Gil's colleagues and friends couldn't help but tease him, calling him the Winky Whisperer for his involvement in the wild tiger's escapade. But Gil didn't mind. He was just happy that no one was hurt and the tiger was perfectly and safely back at the zoo. So that's the second story.
So we got Gil G and the Boff in there now. Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a theme going on. I can sense it. And we're on to the third story, which is the evil doctor meets his match. And this one goes: Michael Bublé was not your average singer-songwriter. In fact, he was a crime-fighting superhero. But he didn't do it alone. He had a few unusual partners in crime fighting. Ellen Hoiberg and the arch witch of Saggy Bottom was his trusty sidekick. Together, they patrolled the city, keeping it safe from any villainous threats. But their team wouldn't be complete without Chewie, the horny cockerel-wielding gorilla, and Jizzy, the Vietnamese gerbil with an IQ of 170. These two may seem like an odd pair, but they were incredibly skilled in combat and always had Michael and Ellen's backs. One day, they received a distress call from a high-tech zoo that secretly housed a huge underground animal research lab owned by the notorious Dr. Levy. The zoo's experiments had gone wrong, and the animals were becoming aggressive and attacking visitors. Without hesitation, Michael, Ellen, Chewie, and Jizzy rushed to the zoo to save the day. They fought their way through the chaos and the research lab, and Dr. Levy, being the coward that he was, had already fled the scene, leaving behind his crazed and mutated animals. Before Michael and his team but Michael and his team were not easily intimidated. They used their skills and weapons to defeat the animals and shut down the lab. The zoo was saved and the animals returned to their natural state. As they were leaving the zoo, Michael couldn't help but comment, "Well, that was definitely one crazy show." Ellen, Chewie, and Jizzy chuckled in agreement. From that day on, the high-tech zoo was closed down and Dr. Levy was arrested for his unethical experiments over a 24-year period. And Michael, Ellen, Chewie, and Jizzy continued to protect the city and its citizens, one adventure at a time, until finally being uncovered as twisted serial gangbangers who were too shameful even for Mr. Epstein's island. That's the,
I thought that was fantastic.
Big up Michael Bublé.
That's your
Ellen was
first.
there.
Big up Michael Bublé.
Love
So
it.
that's your first three stories. We'll do the little recap. It was the monkey on the loose in the Scottish Highlands.
Yeah.
Eventually captured after having a lot of marijuana. There was the tiger breaking out Delhi Zoo and getting drunk and impregnating lots of the local dogs. And there was, of course, the adventures of Michael Bublé and beating the Dr. Evil and his 24 years of terror. So we simply have to work out which is the true story. Is there a true story?
Which one's based on a true story? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We can't do true story anymore because they suck.
Yeah, but based on true story. Which one's based on a true story? Which one's my fake and which one's Bobby's fake? I think this time we'll start off with Queen Elly this time, I think.
Okay. So the first one is 100% true, but obviously not with marijuana. I think he did it with nuts. He's
in the mood today. We know what Ellie's thinking about today.
Yeah, he was chewing on nuts. Like a good
Get some nuts.
That's just nuts, Ellie.
I think I'm torn between the second one. I think the third one is Bobby K's because he's got I don't know, there's something about it that drives me to. Yeah, the second one was Coover's and the third one was Bobby K's. Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'm going with that. Bobby K.
Oh, Phil P next, I think, please.
The cannabis bit put me off, but I think there was a monkey on the loose in Scotland, so I'm gonna go with Elly on that one. I think that one's true. And can I ask a question?
Yes.
Did Booby K look anything like anyone on this panel? Because obviously we've already had one panel member.
I don't know. I made him up.
Okay.
I thought I made him up.
Well, it definitely doesn't look like me.
We can't see you, Elly. You and Bentoncourt are busy. You're doing this show from the bed, so we don't know what's going on over there.
She's busy. They're busy throwing Hoiberg out of the window.
I'm doing on my bed, and my pussy cat is right by me.
Oh my God. Hoiby has been thrown down the stairs and he's on the pile with Theo and Jimbo. Literal scrappy.
Just a
It'd be
girl
fine
that
if you
loves
did.
stairs. That's the name of your
Exactly.
channel now. Just a girl that loves
Just a girl that
stairs.
loves stairs.
That's actually
Right,
good.
what we go? Okay, let's see. So I'm going True, and I'm going Kuva Bobby.
Okay. Next.
I will go to Smithy Smith next, please.
It's hard today, so we've got no acting because Kuva's ill. So I've got no Texas-led motherfucker and shit. So I'm gonna get. I'm gonna go.
Deliberation.
Texas-led motherfucker.
So which one's which, Lee? I can't hear you all of a sudden. Is that just me or can you guys hear him?
No, can't hear him.
You got to speak closer to the mic.
Very
No.
faint. Very faint.
Have you got your hand over the mic?
You just muted it.
Hold.
Well, let's grab Benny's answer as well then.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, he's back. Okay, sorry, Lee. What were your answers?
Must be my AirPods.
You're good.
What do I say? True, Bobby Kuva, I think.
True, Bobby Kuva. Okay. Benji.
That first story is total rubbish, so it has to be written by Kuva. Total rubbish.
Completely.
This first one, the second one is totally Bobby K's, and the third one about Queen Ellen Hoybier and Michael BBK is obviously the true story because
I
those
think I'm
are
going to call myself that. I like it.
So we got Ben's answers in, then we'll just check out the chat here. I'll take it, Coos. Don't worry, buddy. Stuart here was guessing Truish, Bobby, and Kuva. Ash is saying True, Bobby, Kuva. Tom is saying True, Bobby, Kuva. Drula saying True, Bobby, Kuva. True, Bobby, Kuva. There's a lot of of consistency here. Cy Dancer has switched it up a bit, gone True, Kuva, Bobby. Paul G has gone True, Bobby, Kuva. And Nita saying animals are the most honest on the earth. Okay. Why does Kuva become an image in the chat? I have no idea what that even means, and we both speak the same language. Just a girl who loves stairs. Yes, that's the new thing. Okay, so we're all. Oh, and Leo's jumping in. True, Bobby and Kuva. So what's the score, Koovs?
Well, the first story, of course, the monkey was the true story, kind of. Might have been a little bit tweaked.
A little
Bobby.
fabricated.
A little bit. Just to embellish, just to add a bit of colour to it.
What do you mean adding a bit of colour to it?
Well, I was backing you up there, mate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
You know what? Marijuana to nuts, they're both the same thing because marijuana drives you nuts when you don't have it.
The tiger breakout from Delhi Zoo was, of course, a story from Bobby because it's his childhood, really.
Yeah, I saw it happen.
What an escaped tiger made love to you? What?
No, I watched it make love to my dog.
Okay.
Yeah. And then somehow 9 months later, we had a cat. The dog gave birth to a cat, which was weird because it was a male dog.
And the evil Dr. Levy was indeed a story by myself.
Oh, God.
There you go. So after round one, Ellie's got 1 point. She guessed the true story correctly. Ben is holding his high standard of making sure he gets 0 points in the round. Phil grabbed a point as well with guessing the correct two story, and Lee swept the round, grabbing all 3 points. So on to round two, Koovs. Are you okay to get through this, Koovs?
Yeah. Just a bit uncomfortable, but okay. We'll get through it. We'll get through
all right. Let's get through them quick and finish it up then, buddy.
Okay, so we've got not an AI-generated story that I've messed with and doesn't fit the theme of the rest of this round. So that story goes, Filami Filipino never thought he would end up in a strange town like downtown Kentucky, let alone be involved in it, and let alone be stuck in an alien jizz milking machine. As a successful hedge fund manager from Guadalajara, he was used to his life of luxury and sophistication, but alas, here he was, trapped and surrounded by mutants and alien jizz smugglers. Little did he know, his misfortune would lead him to love in a very unexpected way. While desperately trying to free himself from the milking machine, he caught the eye of Squeaky, the snub-nosed dolphin assassin. Squeaky had been on the run in Kentucky for a crime he didn't commit and was hiding in an abandoned warehouse where he stumbled upon Phil Army. Despite the initial shock and confusion, the two bonded over their shared predicament for love and biscuits. Phil Army couldn't believe he was falling for a dolphin, but Squeaky's charming personality and sweet gestures melted his heart, along with his massive cock and gimp mask. Meanwhile, Lord Mundo Marrowpants, the destroyer of worlds, was wreaking havoc in the outskirts of downtown Kentucky. As a next-gen cyber organism from Alpha Centauri, he was prophesied to destroy the universe. However, his plans were put on hold when he saw Heidi the Milkmaid, an alien overlord's puppet, harvesting human jism from the intergalactic black market. But Heidi wasn't all she seemed. Underneath her robotic exterior, she had the soft spot for humans and their strange customs. In fact, she couldn't resist the charm of Jizzy the Gerbil, a murderous vigilante with a passion for biscuits. Their unlikely love story had been the talk of the town for weeks. As weird as it may sound, love was in the air in downtown Kentucky, and even though the only thing weirder than mutants and alien jizz smugglers were the locals, Phil Army and Squeaky's love proved that anything is possible in this strange and quirky town. Maybe even Big Ange could take home the silverware. So that's the first story. I know what you're thinking. That's got to be true.
Definitely true.
Yeah.
Happened to me. Similar happened to me on Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's why we wrote the story today, because we just saw it in the news yesterday.
Yeah.
So now you all know which one's the true story.
Fair enough. Story number 5 is the 3-year-old rescued from inside Hello Kitty claw machine. Ethan was a curious 3-year-old boy who loved to explore and discover new things. His mother, Queen Shelley, had taken him to the local fair in Queensland, Australia, for some fun. As they walked around, Ethan's eyes lit up when he saw Hello Kitty claw machine. Without hesitation, he ran towards it and climbed inside, determined to win a prize for himself. But as he reached for a stuffed toy, his hand landed on something unexpected, a massive dildo. Shocked and confused, Ethan pulled it out and proudly showed it to his mother. The local fire department responded to the emergency call along with the police, and together they combined their efforts to get Ethan out of the machine. Queen Shelley's face turned red with embarrassment as she tried to explain to her son what it was. But Ethan, being a 93-year-old, innocently exclaimed, "Look, Mummy, I want a sword." The onlookers burst into laughter, and Queen Shelley couldn't quite help but join in. She quickly took the dildo from Ethan's hand and placed it back in the machine, hoping no one else had seen it. From that day on, Queen Shelley made sure to keep a close eye on Ethan's curious adventures, and every time they passed by the Hello Kitty claw machine, they would both share a laugh and secret inside joke. So that's the second story. That's the 3-year-old pulling out the special prize. I think Kate probably loved that story.
Oh, yeah. Queen
That was
Shelley's
loosely based on Kate's upbringing.
Yeah. That machine might have been at the top of the stairs as well.
She actually has that machine in her bedroom, yeah. The final story of this segment is the 5-year-old girl spots nude couple in forest behind her home. This is all about Queen Shelley, the queen of Wankadicky Forest in Arkansas. Was known for her love of the great outdoors. She often took long walks through the forest, enjoying the peacefulness and beauty of nature. One day, as she was outside of her back porch, she stumbled upon a peculiar sight. she saw Mr. Dinky Willers and his wife who's slapping me booty.
Slapping the beauty. Like it.
Completely naked in a clearing behind her home. Unbeknownst to them, a curious 5-year-old girl who lived in the home had spotted them from her balcony and decided to take matters into her own hands. She grabbed her parents' expensive clothes and threw them down at the couple, shouting for them to cover up. Startled and embarrassed, the couple quickly put on the clothes and tried to sneak away. But the little girl was not done yet. She called to all the neighbours to come and help, causing a commotion in the stiff forest. The neighbours, who were also curious about the commotion, arrived to see the naked couple and the little girl proudly standing on her balcony, pointing and laughing at them. Embarrassed and humiliated, Mr. Dinky Willers and his wife ran away as fast as they could, never to be seen in the forest again. From that day on, Queen Shelley always made sure to warn everybody about the dangers of the forest and that the trees stole people's clothing, ensuring that no one else would be caught in a compromising position in her kingdom. The little girl became quite the legend in Wankadicky Forest and the community. So that's a heartwarming third story there.
Oh, that's actually sweet. That's very sweet.
So, quick recap: we've got the AI generated story about Phil Army Filipino, and basically the love happening in downtown Kentucky. We've got the 3-year-old girl rescued from the claw machine with the dildo, and we've got the 5-year-old girl who threw the clothes at the naked couple in the back garden. So again, we're looking for the true story. We're looking for my fake, and we're looking for Bobby's fake. This time we'll start off with Ben, please.
Okay. So the first story is utterly rubbish. So I'm going to say that was Bobby. The second story is Cuba. And the one about the Wankadicky Forest is obviously the most true story ever. So I'm going to go with true for the final one.
He sees right through us, man.
Yes, we'll fix it. We'll fix it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to cut him out a few shows because he just knows the algorithm, like Leo figured it out.
I think so. We'll go to Lee next, please.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
You're good, buddy.
My sound cut off a minute ago. I don't know what's going on.
That should be your catchphrase, Lee. Can you hear me?
No, that's a shit catchphrase.
To be fair, Smithy, you could have heard nothing of those 3 stories and have just as much chance as anyone else of winning this round.
I missed a bit of the middle one, so yeah. I'm gonna say Kauffie, true, Bobby.
True, Bobby. Okay.
Phil next, please.
I think dildo is true.
So that's this one.
Yeah. I think the first one is Kauffie, and the last one is Bobby.
Very good. Next.
And to round us off, Elly, please.
Right. So the kid in the kitty machine. That's a true story.
Don't copy me, Elly. What is going on there?
It's tossed between these two now. Who's got the most sickest brain? We've both got sick brains, so you don't know which one.
I wouldn't have said it was a toss. I wouldn't have said that.
Absolutely.
It's a toss up, maybe. All right. I'm going to go Bobby K, the first one, and Kauffie, the last one.
All right. We'll just quickly see what the chat says here.
Yeah.
We are right here. Ash is saying Bobby, true, and Kauffie. Drula is saying Kauffie, true, Bobby. Kauffie, truish, and Bobby. And Nickelodeon has Kauffie, the script writer. We got Bobby, true, and Kauffie. Thomas saying Kauffie, true, and Bobby. And Daniel saying Bobby, true, and Kauffie. Koofs, let him know the score here, buddy.
Yeah, the first story, the jizz milking project with the love interest and the dolphins and the jizz. That is in fact my story. The second one, the dildo claw machine one, that is the true story.
Yeah.
Is the
Leaving
dildo bit true?
No.
Yeah, of course
No.
it is.
Oh, yes.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Probably.
That's
Probably.
Maybe
Kate's
somewhere.
in the
Yeah.
facility,
It's America. Oh no, it was Queensland. That was Australia.
isn't
That
it?
one.
That's because Kate was in that facility at the time.
Yeah, we got to find out when Kate visited Queensland.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
there.
And of course, that leads
Right.
the final story of the nude couple there with the clothes being thrown out by the 5-year-old is Bobby's story.
Hello.
Another one from his childhood.
Yep.
Oh dear.
So after that round, Elly got 1 right, so it brings her up to 2 points.
Yeah.
Ben keeps his standard at high, coming in with 0 points. Phil and Lee both swept the rounds, even though Lee missed half the stories, showing you that you can just come in and guess and get them right. So Lee is in the lead with 6 points. Phil is in second with 4. Elly got 2, and Benjamin is still in the lead with 0 points. So on to
And
the
I just
last
I sent you a brilliant new logo, Bobby.
Did you? Okay, I'll take a look at it in a minute here. I just want to get wrapped up. I know Kuba's it's time to end the show here as quick as possible. Here, he's.
It was worth your while.
I don't like seeing my buddy in discomfort here. So time to get through this as quick as we can. Round 3, Coos.
I'm good. Pizza Hut's embarrassing unforeseen circumcisions spelling error goes viral.
Could be popular.
Mr. Foreskin Too Long was a proud owner of a successful Pizza Hut franchise in Timmins, Ontario. He was known for his delicious pizzas and witty sense of humour. But one day his sense of humour backfired upon him. Bree Smithy Smith, a young employee, was in charge of putting up the daily specials of the restaurant's sign. However, she made a spelling mistake and wrote unforeseen circumcisions instead of unforeseen circumstances. Mr. Foreskin Too Long began being the jokester that he was, found it hilarious and decided to keep the sign up. Little did he know the sign would go viral in no time. People started flocking into the Pizza Hut, not for the pizzas, but for the promise of unforeseen circumcisions. The line of men wanting to get circumcised was getting longer and longer, causing chaos and traffic on the street. The police were called for crowd control, and Mr. Foreskin Too Long was at a loss for words. He never expected his joke to cause such chaos. He quickly took down the sign and apologized for the misunderstanding. Despite the chaos, the incident brought in a lot of business for the Pizza Hut. People were curious to try the famous pizza of Mr. Foreskin Too Long, and then unintentionally became famous overnight. As for Brie, she was what's the place there? As for Brie, sorry, I went and lost it totally there. Right, as for Brie, she was mortified by her mistake and apologised to her boss. But Mr. Foreskin Too Long couldn't be mad at her for too long. After all, her mistake brought in a lot of business and made him the talk of the town. From then on, Mr. Foreskin Too Long made sure to double-check all the signs before putting them up, and Brie became known as the employee who accidentally caused the Pizza Hut to go viral. The incident also brought the two of them closer as they laughed about it together. So that's the first one.
Story.
Yeah, what? Bree Smithy Smith.
Bree Smithy Smith, Pizza Hut Employee of the Month, clearly.
We've got the Boff, we've got the Gil G, we've got Bree Smithy Smith. There's a lot of
There's a lot of possibilities of well, just leave it as possibilities.
We'll leave it at possibilities. That's it. Yeah, possibilities are endless.
Let's go with the second story then, which is the Scandinavian sex shop flooded with perverts wanting free sex toys. Of course, I remember this one.
Now we're going into Kuba's childhood.
Yeah, exactly. Funny enough, it's Mr. Foreskin Too Long again. He was the proud owner of the most proud owner of the most popular sex shop in Oslo, Norway. He was also known for his eccentric personality and his love for all things kinky. His loyal employees, Bree Smithy Smith had been working for him for years and had seen it all. One day, they received the news that a Scandinavian sex shop was having a massive sex toy giveaway. Mr. Forskintalong saw this as an opportunity to attract new customers and increase sales. He immediately made the plans to participate in the event. On the day of the giveaway, a huge crowd of people had gathered outside the shop. Mr. Forskintalong and Bree were amazed by the number of people who had come to take advantage of the giveaway. The atmosphere was buzzing with excitement and anticipation. As the doors opened, chaos ensued. People were pushing and shoving to get inside, all desperate to get their hands on the free sex toys. Bree had to use all her strength to control the crowd and make sure everyone got their fair share. Dildos and vibrators were thrown everywhere, and some people used them as weapons to fight off the horde of sex-crazed grannies that attended the event. Meanwhile, Mr. Forskintalong was having the time of his life. He was dancing around the shop, throwing sex toys at the customers and shouting out inappropriate jokes. The customers were both shocked and amused by his behaviour, but it definitely added to the chaotic atmosphere. After the giveaway, the shop was left in a complete mess. There were sex toys scattered everywhere, and the shelves were almost empty. Jizz was splattered everywhere, and as well as Bree was not looking forward to the clear up. As the day came to an end, Mr. Forskintalong and Bree were exhausted but happy. They had never seen so many people in the shop before. As they closed up for the night, they couldn't help but laugh at the event of the day. From that day on, the Scandinavian sex shops giveaway became an annual event, and Mr. Forskintalong and Bree were always ready to participate and create chaos in their own unique way. Their sex shop had become the must-visit destination for anyone looking for a good laugh and some naughty fun. So that's your second story, the Scandinavian sex shop, and Bree Smithy Smith as the worker, well-trusted worker. We are on to the final story, which is ducks, batteries, lemons, astronomy, and jizz. Only one of these things is in this story. And this one goes, Eleanor Hoybier was known to be the most charming and hospitable hostess in all of North London. Her invitations were highly coveted, and her parties were at the talk of the town. She was famous for her delicious feasts and impeccable service. However, what most people didn't know was that Eleanor had a dark secret. She was a notorious serial killer. As Jacoberto Malvinas, a mariachi on his way home from punching out Eric Dyer, walked past Eleanor's extravagant mansion, he couldn't help but admire the beautiful decorations and the scrumptious smell of food wafting through the air. Little did he know that he was about to enter a crime scene. Benjano Coffatino, a 1950s rockabilly guitar-playing detective, had been called to investigate the murder of 7 people who had been found dead after attending a barbecue at Eleanor's house. As he searched for clues, he couldn't help but wonder who committed such a heinous crime. Meanwhile, Senorita Kitty Cat, a crime-fighting biscuiteer, had received a tip-off about strange events happening at Eleanor's mansion. She immediately enlisted the help of Jizzy 2 Times, a notorious gangster gerbil, and his trusted dog sidekick, Chewy the Sleeper. The unlikely trio snuck into the mansion, determined to uncover the truth. Henry, the mild-mannered janitor of the mansion, had always been suspicious of Eleanor. He had noticed her strange behaviour and mysterious disappearances during her parties, but he never imagined that she was a serial killer. As Benjano and his team searched the mansion, they stumbled upon a secret room where Eleanor kept her trophies, the belongings of her victims. They also found evidence linking her to the murders. Just as they were about to arrest her, Eleanor appeared with a smile on her face, offering them a seat at her grand banquet. She had prepared a feast fit for kings, with all the finest delicacies and wine. But Benjano and his team were not fooled. They knew this was Eleanor's way of trying to escape. In a hilarious turn of events, Senorita Kitty Cat used her biscuit-throwing skills to distract Eleanor while Chizzy and Chewy pounced on her, knocking her to the ground. Benjano and his team quickly handcuffed her while Henry watched in disbelief. As they led her away, Eleanor's true identity as a serial killer was revealed to the shocked onlookers. Jacoberto stood there in awe, really realizing that he had just walked past a murderer's house. The news of Eleanor's arrest spread like wildfire, and soon everyone in North London found out about her secret life. It was shocking and comical. It was a shocking and comical turn of events, especially since it all happened just after Spurs had won the league for the first time. From that day on, Eleanor Hoiberg was no longer known as the infamous hospitality hostess, but as the notorious serial killer who prepared a banquet for Spurs fans. And as for Benjano Coffatino, he had solved yet another baffling case with the help of some unlikely but heroic individuals. And Shiz not even mentioned once. Well, except for the gerbil, and possibly the curtains and some socks. So there's the third story.
Well done, Coov. Well done. Well done. So we'll go the recap here.
For reading this rubbish. High standards.
We try to keep them low.
It was good rubbish.
It is good rubbish.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Benjano Coffatino is a famed.
That's an amazing
Italian
character.
detective. So we got the recap here with Pizza Hut's embarrassing sign here. We got the Scandinavian sex shots that gets flooded with the perverts, and then of course we've got Jizzy doing everything and anything, and Eleanor the serial killer there. So the leader right now is Lee, so we should go Lee, Phil, Elly, then Ben, if it's okay with you, Goofs.
Okay, let's start off this time straight with Phil, I think, please.
Okay.
Just basically fuck you, Bobby. Just fuck you.
Okay.
I would say I've basically got no clue what's going on, but I would say the serial killer is true.
Yeah.
The Pizza Hut is Bobby, and the middle one is Kuva.
The Pizza Hut is Bobby. Okay.
Okay. We'll go for Lee next. Not that I've paid attention.
I'm going to go true, Kuva, Bobby. They all sound true, though.
I think
They all might be.
Yeah.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time conjuring these characters. It's like we know them, isn't it?
Yeah. They're family now. They're family.
Yeah.
Any resemblance to real people is strictly coincidental.
Coincidental.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, we got to come up with that. Thanks, Phil. We got to put up the warning sign.
Yeah.
No, let's just fly
That's
as
good.
it.
Some people figure it out.
Yeah, we can just deal with it. Next, we'll go for Elly, please.
Yeah, it's just baffling, but I'm going to try and give an
I
answer.
have a clue what's going on.
Yeah, I think the Pizza Hut one, I think I read something about that being true, if I remember rightly. Yeah, so
What, of an employee called Bree Smithy Smith?
yeah, that's the fabrication part.
You know, Bree Smithy Smith is a really common name, Lee.
Yeah, Lee.
Yeah, I think the pizza one is the true story. The second one is Kuva and the third one's Bobby.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last but not least.
Okay.
Benny, it is.
So,
I'm worried Ben is going to break his perfect streak.
the Pizza Hut story is rubbish. So I'm going to go, it's Kuva. I think it's rubbish. The story about Oslo is Bobby trying to make everyone think it's actually Kuva because he's talking about Norway. So they're, oh, it's Norway, so it must be Viking Kuva racists. And the third story with that amazing detective is a total true story.
There we go. We got their answers, Coos. We'll check the chat here quickly here. And this really handsome fella said that memberships are available if you're interested. We appreciate your support over here. And Ben used his 2-month membership to let everybody know, get your memberships. In all caps, he's screaming, you must be getting your membership.
Yeah.
So appreciate that, Benny. Big up, buddy. Big up, man. And if you don't have to pay to get a membership, folks, it's £2 a month, but at least hit the like button and sub if you haven't already.
And
that
comment.
helps the channel.
Make sure you at the end of the show. If you really like the show, comment in the description in the comments. Say if you like the show, who was your favourite, and that helps the algorithm. Yep, comments help. Comments help the most.
Obviously, Phil P's the favourite.
Bless you, Elly.
So
She's saying that because he's Greek. Racists.
That's true.
Half
That's
Greek.
true.
Technically, it's xenophobic.
Yeah.
Racist.
Oh, okay. So Drilla saying true Bobby Kuva. Leo saying true Bobby Kuva. Tom is saying true Bobby Kuva. Stuart is saying true-ish Bobby and Kuva, unless it's Ben.
Yeah.
Ed knows that it's a slice of truth. Kuva and Bobby. Daniel saying true Bobby and Kuva. Side dancer Bobby true Kuva. And the F word has its uses in the language. Yes, it does. Definitely has its uses. Coovs, for the last time for 2 weeks, let them know the score, buddy.
Right. Well, the first story, the Pizza Hut one, was in fact the true story, as Elly pointed out.
Told you Bree Smithy Smith was true.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
don't know how, but yeah.
No, you know, it's what it is, Lee, is that the actual Pizza Hut and the story and the signage and all that stuff is true. So we're basically taking 30% of a story and then fabricating the rest.
Yeah.
So it's one is loosely
But
based
with
on.
no dildo involved this time.
Well, no, that's what the second story was for.
To be fair, that sounds a bit like Spurs transfer business, doesn't it?
Dodgy, isn't it?
What dildo?
Where do you think we learned?
No, 30% true, the rest are dildos.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Made up dildos.
I think so. I think Brian Dildo. No.
Brian Dagdo? No, that doesn't work. So the second story, go ahead, Coop.
The second story, the ducks, batteries, lemons, astronomy, and jizz. Only one of these is the true story. The serial killer, that was in fact my fake story.
Yes.
So, despite that amazing detectives, have I just done this in the wrong order? I have, haven't I? That was not the final story. Yes, it was, wasn't it? The middle one was
the middle one. Yeah,
was the Scandinavian sex shop one. Yes, that was Bobby's fake to make it sound like it was mine. Yeah, obviously.
There you go. So after that being said, Elly got picked up one more point in the round, finishing the game with 3 points. Ben actually really messed up. He got one of them correct, which means he finishes with 1 point.
Oh, God.
Unfortunately, coming into the final round, Phil fell apart at the end, going 0 for 3 in that round, finishing with 4 points. Lee Smith broke his streak of 3-3 and only got 1 in that round, so he finishes with 7 points this week.
Well done.
The winner is
Lee Smithy Smith.
football.
The winner is always football.
Winner is always football.
And
there
quizzing.
you go. And the quizzing. So that is it for us this week, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for joining us this evening. Thank you to my co-host who struggled and fought through this to get through it. I know he hasn't been well, so thanks, Kuva. I really appreciate it, buddy. I know you got a new setup and everything. We gotta get some people over there to help you get set up properly there. And Phil, appreciate you taking the time. Ben, as always. Lee, Queen Elly, or Queen Benton Coro, should we say? Flip Floppy, Queen Floppy. And really appreciate everybody, those of you in the chat for joining us this evening. We actually will be back on Tuesday. The kids will be back with their weekly recap show. They'll be having the little homie himself from Colorado. Leo will be joining them to do the weekly wrap up. And then on Thursday, if Coos is feeling a bit up for it and a bit better, we are actually going to try to do a football show. It's going to be called.
No.
I know. Being a football
No.
channel,
Come on,
yes,
this.
yeah. Couv and the Kang, Couv and the Kang are going
Come on, boy.
ATF. Couv and the Kang are going ATF. They're going to actually talk football. So that'll be just myself and Cuba. So jump in, hit the notification bell. Ben's not happy. Ben,
Should have
no
done
more football
WTF,
talk.
really. We should have done WTF, really, shouldn't we?
Yeah. What are the puck in football? Oh, well, what's a football? WAF?
What's that football?
What's that football?
What is that?
Benji, what's going on the Kauffie Company, buddy? What's going to be coming up this week?
Usual
And on
chill
Tottenham on
streams,
tour.
everyone. We've had a bit of a busy week this week, so next week we're going back to the roots. We're going to chill a bit. We're going to do something, look at cool things. We're starting to add bits to the stream where we just look at things and we have chats of biscuits and we see what biscuits Lee Smithy Smith is willing to eat, and we still haven't decided why he doesn't like gravy yet. But yeah, go over to the Kauffie Company. You're wrong. You're wrong.
Hey, you fight about that with him on the Kauffie Company now.
Yeah, absolutely. But we have a great time. We have great chats. We have wonderful people for the community. It's the place where people go to chill out, and that's where you go.
I'm surprised, Modfather, you haven't dropped all the links in yet. What's you're off par today. You're off par. Phil P, anything coming up for you, sir? Can people see you anywhere, or do you want to shout out your socials at all or anything?
I haven't got any socials. All I would suggest is go and watch old Ric Flair fights on YouTube. Because you've only now, listen, it's just under 24 hours till the greatest football team in history of association football play their next match away to Everton. So get some shut-eye, try and keep your excitement abated for a little while, and then just go completely mental for Angeball. But yeah, boys, thanks so much for having me on in more ways than one. Yeah, really enjoyed it. And hopefully next time Ellie's got two men in her bed while she's streaming, she'll put her camera on.
Well, if the camera's off, you'll know why. Thank you for reminding me, Phil. I just wanted to quickly do this before we let everybody go, but we will do that in a second. Lee, anything coming up?
Can I ask? Sorry, just before Smithy goes in, can we, if Ellie does ever put a camera on while she's got two men in her bed, would you have to rename the show Only Kangs?
Absolutely.
Ellie's, no, it's Ellie's Glory Hole. Oh no, wait, that's a different show. Glory to Ellie? No, okay, that doesn't. Tom renamed it. If we're gonna rename it, it's got to be something appropriate. So what would Ellie be saying with two men in her bed? Woo! Woo! No, not while I'm in the chat. Drula doesn't want to hear that about her auntie.
No.
Lee, you got anything coming up anytime soon, buddy?
You
just go with the wind?
On whatever channels get me on. Other than that, you can find me in the Antwerp Arms or in 452 in the stadium.
There you go. And Queen Ellie, what's going on over there on Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs?
First of all, I want to address Phil P's fantasy. The thing is, I wish I did have two men in the bed, but unlucky for me, I just had my two pussies join me in the bedroom tonight.
Well, say hello to Kate and Mia.
One is Tabby.
Say hello to Kate and Mia.
Every man's dream, isn't it?
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, but in terms of what's going on in the football world, we've got our instant match reaction. While Kate's down and out in her bed, we've not one man because Jimmy's ill as well, so I'm sure she's chucked him out of bed.
In or not, Jim's still ready.
Out of bed, back down the stairs.
Yeah, down the stairs again to break the other arm. But yeah, we got our instant match reaction tomorrow after the match, and then from there on in, I'm anybody's game.
Yeah, you've been at it all morning. I saw you at 6 a.m. my time this morning with Ash, and then with Colin later. Here you are now.
Twice today.
Ellie's put in a 14-hour shift almost today.
I know.
Good for you. Good for you. Well, we appreciate you joining us, Ellie. Before everybody shoots off, just give me your score prediction, just to score quickly. Ellie, for tomorrow's game?
3-2 to Spurs.
Lee?
2-1. Spurs.
Phil.
2-0 Spurs.
Benji.
2-0 Spurs.
Sexy Scandinavian.
7-3 Spurs win, obviously.
Obviously. There you go. I'm not even going to bother giving a prediction after that. I should never let him go
Lovely.
before me because it's always just too much. I can't follow. This is too big of a shadow you cast, big guy. But I'll stick with the 2-0 Spurs that I've already been saying as well. But before I head out, David Shire, thank you very much. Member for a month is ready. Kate was already in here as well. Much love to you. Member for 2 months. This guy we already know. And Ben said if you want to get your memberships, they are available. So much appreciated. But again, thank you everybody in the chat. Thank you to my lovely panel. Thank you to my co-host. We shall see you soon. And until next time, unity through football, baby. Benji?
Yay.
Let us smell what the cloth is brewing.
We'll see you next time.
Come on,
If I
you
can find the
Spurs.
damn exit video. What the hell did I do to the exit video? Did I delete the wrong video? No, here it is. See ya.